want to talk about how most people try to stop their minds, to stop the endless mind chatter and emotional churn that comes with it. For those of you who are interested in personal development and have been exposed to mindfulness through business literature, meditation is a common technique that is used to quieten the mind. Meditation can be extremely useful, but the problem is that the way that it is typically taught means it takes a lot of effort that actually requires the mind to try to still the mind. And it's a fact that trying to use the mind to still the mind sends you into an unconscious loop that actually amplifies your mind activity. It's like trying to pull yourself up by pulling on your shoelaces, or even worse, trying to stop a fast-moving vehicle by hitting both the brakes and the gas at the same time. It won't work, and it may even cause trouble for you, because it's missing an essential bit of information I will share with you in this program. Monks practice stillness and meditation for years. Vipassana meditation requires you to be physically still, emotionally still, and not speak for up to 10 days at a time, eating very little, not interacting with anyone or anything, literally disconnecting you from everything. And then you reach a zone of quietness and stillness, which is completely disrupted within days of leaving the retreat. And for the same reason that you're required to use discipline and willpower to keep still. Discipline and willpower are all workings of the mind, so it's not going to be sustainable. At best, it will only give you hit and miss results. And so, this triggers you into doing even more meditations to try to get back to that place of stillness. And some people have to keep going back to do these meditation retreats again and again to try to desperately hold on to the elusive state of no mind. No one who wishes to achieve great success has time for this. You have too much to do. We need you fully inspired, fully empowered, with a clear mind, clear heart, creating amazing change on this planet that benefits everyone, yourself, your family, and the world. I need to get you there in a fraction of the time, and this program helps you get there. Other people access the zone through intense adrenaline sports like skydiving, hang gliding, free diving, bungee jumping, putting their lives on the line to get to that place of stillness where your body is forced to shut your mind off just so that you can stay alive. How crazy is that? People do this all around the world and are becoming addicted to being in the zone. People are even dying doing these adrenaline sports every year, trying to access that place of no mind, of timelessness. You don't have to jump out of an airplane just to still your mind. You can if you want to, it definitely works, but only until you hit the ground, and then your mind starts up again. And for the same reasons, you're doing something to experience a moment of not thinking. And doing is always a mind thing. So the most important thing to learn from this is that while doing things that stop your mind can be fun and even valuable, they're not sustainable. Wow, does this sound crazy or what? But this is only because of how complex and crazy your mind has become. That we need to take massive action to do something to be able to experience doing nothing for a moment of freedom, clarity, and peace. We need adrenaline sports, death-defying activities in order to feel that place of stillness and oneness inside of us. Why do we need to get so close to the point of death to calm our minds, to feel fully alive? Why do we need to have everything on the line in order to get to that place? And the moment we leave it, we come crashing back down to earth, and all our mind chatter and unwanted emotions and boring reality hit us, and even stronger than before. And we can't wait to escape again, to get back to that zone. And to make things worse, because we're not addressing the root cause, which is simply that the mind is always on. And we're using our minds to try to stop our minds. We're actually increasing the power and the content of our minds in the process. And our unconscious stresses, anxieties, fears, and dysfunctions only keep growing. Ice baths and ice plunges are becoming popular personal development tools to stop the mind. And yes, you can feel extremely calm and at peace after a freezing cold jump into frigid waters. Do you want to know why? Because you've shocked your senses into numbness. And this shocks your mind into stillness. It's literally like a dangerous crash stop of the senses. If you keep doing this frequently, you're actively frying your sensory circuits and you'll desensitize yourself. Just like people becoming desensitized during shock therapy. It's a dangerous practice to do regularly. But most personal development and spiritual gurus are teaching this. Some are even now doing cryogenic chambers with liquid nitrogen to take it to the whole next level of cold to shock the mind into stillness. Let me share with you why this is such a dangerous approach. Let's say that you first jump into a pool of cold water and you experience the stopping of your mind. And with it, the freedom and liberation from your constant mind chatter. You do this every day for weeks until one day it stops working. This happens because your nervous system evolved to adjust, adapt, and normalize the body to your environment. So now you need to jump into even colder water for the same effect. Then this same pattern repeats itself. So you learn from a friend or a coach that there's a new specialized breathing technique that allows your body to endure even more extreme cold temperatures, and it works for a while. But then it will stop working and you will have to do something even more extreme. This pattern keeps repeating. This is a recipe for madness. You'll desensitize yourself and just numb out if you're not careful. These types of practices will reduce your awareness, intelligence, and sensitivity until you are no longer aware, intelligent, or sensitive enough to feel the essential disturbances and pains all living beings need to live in balance with in themselves and within their environment. How crazy is that? You can actually make yourself so much less sensitive and so much less intelligent, and you can lose so much awareness that you can even lose the capacity to know that you're actually making yourself stupid. Hence the saying, ignorance is bliss. This is true because it actually takes a high level of intelligence, awareness, and sensitivity to be unhappy. Numbing your mind and your feelings is never the way. So, you don't need to jump repeatedly into cryogenic chambers or keep jumping out of airplanes to still your mind. You can access the same state of no mind without having to do anything. You can do it in just 5 minutes with a very simple technique. But I understand why people are doing it, because their mind is so active. The constant mind chatter creating stress, anxiety, and sleep apnea. And if you look at all the success literature out there today, most of it encourages harnessing your mind even more, making it stronger, to set goals, to achieve, to take massive action, to read more, to study more, to model off others, to strategize and to sleep less, and to be constantly running on adrenaline. In doing so, we make our mind stronger and stronger. And the problem with that is it actually makes it harder to turn off. So the stronger you make your mind, the more difficult it becomes to turn it off. It actually amplifies your thoughts and feelings even more, and eventually leads to a breakdown, a crash or burnout, and even mental illness and madness. I'll show you how you can become the master of your mind, not the slave. I actually encourage you to keep working on your mind, but not without the ability of stopping your mind on demand and entering your zone. That's the way to stop the madness of the mind, but still keep increasing your success with each reboot. You just need to take back the steering wheel from your mind. Be the master, and then use it when you need it. Make it stronger, but be in control of your mind so it does not hijack your mental and physical health. Please understand, there is nothing wrong with being able to sustain extreme temperatures and enjoy extreme experiences. If I wish to plan an expedition to Antarctica, you bet I would practice sub-zero freezing cold water plunges, as this training would be essential to swim with penguins and to survive an accident in this extreme environment. But if you were to go on an expedition to thrive in climate-controlled luxury environments, you would need to be able to stop your mind with a regular shower, a single breath, and by sipping a bit of cool water. In other words, there is value in thinking about where you actually are heading with your life and using the strategies that work best for the lifestyle you wish to live in and thrive. Same goes for jumping out of an airplane. I love skydiving and hang gliding, and I'm even a licensed pilot. I'm happy to have mastered parachuting. But in my daily life, all I need to do is drop down the short distance into a comfortable chair. And that's enough to trigger my mind to effortlessly stop and go into creative standby, ready to function at up to 100% total mind power, and to be able to enjoy generating massive creative abundance, all from the comfort of a chair, a beanbag, a hammock, or even just by lying on my bed. The other approach too many people use is numbing their minds with alcohol, with recreational drugs, with sleeping tablets, and antidepressants. Many of us numb our minds with food. This need to stop our minds is what's driving such an epidemic of addictions in our society today. Our minds can't stop. And a mind that we keep feeding with needless data and information that does nothing for our well-being or moving us forward on our purpose. You need to become aware of this issue. You need to take good care of what you put into your mind. And you need to take control back from your mind. You tell it what to work on, when to work on something, and when not to. You say when to be still and when to be active. You don't need an ice bath for this, and you don't need to do meditations for hours. There's a far easier way, and it opens up the door not just to enter the zone of no mind, but accessing your full potential, your remaining 90% of your intelligences that you can use to effortlessly create success. That is where all my programs lead. That is where I'm here to teach you, to authentically demonstrate that you can live in this zone of effortlessness, of thriving 24/7, and to give others the tools to do the same. I believe that giving someone the gift of being able to stop their minds, to find a place of inner peace, inner stillness, and oneness is the greatest gift you can ever give. It's so simple, yet it's so powerful.